It's Josh. Welcome to the club. Here we are, back in Brooklyn, back at the home bar. As you can see, I have a few bottles here in front of me. I figured I would re-familiarize myself with all the bottles I have here. In my reacquaintance with my own bar here, I figured I would start with all of my non-spirits. So liqueurs, Amaros, fortified wines, etc. So we're just going to taste through everything today, talk about each one briefly, and see how it goes. Starting with Amaros. What?
A second, because that's dessert.
You hear that? Amaros first, liqueurs as a dessert. Here we go. I should probably move some of these out of the way, though. Amaros, not for tomorrow, for today. Liqueur, Amaro, liqueur. Oh, all right. Before we dive into these Amaros, I'm gonna have myself a little bit of sparkling water to cleanse the palate. Topo Chico, one of the best. I'll pick it up later. All right, like I said, starting with our Amaros, starting with our Marseille from Fourth Have here in Brooklyn. Smells delicious. We're gonna do a tiny little bit. Just a taste. I got, I didn't actually count how many bottles, so I'll put a count on the screen. 1. Delicious, a little bit mentholy, floral, nice bitters, full flavor. Moving on. St. Agrestis, also based here in Brooklyn. Ooh. Slightly heavier pour than the first one, so hopefully that doesn't trend up like that. End up like that, trend up like that. I didn't even mean to do that. Is that a thing? Who knows? Smells good. Smells a little sweeter than the Marseille. A little sweeter. Definitely some molassesy, cane sugary situations going on. Still slightly mentholy, spearminty, but also very full and rich. Delicious. Highly recommend. Now, Sfumato Rabarbaro. Rabarbaro. Is that how you say it? Drop a comment if I pronounced it incorrect. All right, definitely does not smell as sweet. Definitely more on the herbal, bitter herbal side than our Brooklyn-based ones here.
Is it Italian or a Spanish word?
Oh, it's Italian.
And how do you spell it?
Rabarbaro.
Rabarbaro, right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said ro.
Rabarbaro. Rabarbaro. Okay. I think this one is made from rhubarb. Yep, Rabarbaro is rhubarb.
Huh.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a little brighter than those other two. Definitely more bitter on the forward. Definitely more forwardly bitter. Still delicious. Very smooth, actually. Like that bitterness comes in. It's got a like woodsy flavor, and then it mellows out and smooths out, and it's just yum. Next up, we have, it's a classic. Fernet. Come on. Fernet Branca.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that label, right?
It smells like Amaro in here already.
I haven't even spilled any.
I know, just like it's such a strong scent that like I can smell it. Like it's permeating the air.
Yeah.
I hate Fernet.
Fernet is a little polarizing. It's definitely super, super heavy on the menthol, minty, spearminty quality that a lot of Amaros have. But it's a classic. Come on, Fernet shots?
Yuck. Fernet shots? Who the frick does Fernet shots?
Oh, people do Fernet shots. I think they call it the bartender's handshake. Here we go. Oh yeah. Spearmint, menthol, minty. It's got that like numbing quality that you get from toothpaste, honestly. But there's something about it that I really just love. I have not had great success using it in cocktails myself. I know that it's possible, usually in small amounts. So, maybe I'll work on that for the future. All right, moving on to Cardamaro. A wine-based Amaro of Cardoon and Blessed Thistle. What's that face?
What makes it blessed? It's like a...
That's the type of flower or
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Blessed Thistle.
Okay, look. I don't know.
I'm going to rinse out the glass just a little bit because it is super mentholy. Cardamaro. Whoops. No, that wasn't too much. Definitely a much subtler nose than the other ones. Maybe this should have been earlier on in the lineup, but you know, I honestly just did it by height. The Fernet probably should have been last. But I just wanted to go for aesthetics, I guess.
Shocking.
Wow. All right, Cardamaro. Wow. Definitely much less bitter than the other ones I've tried. So much caramel and butterscotch sweetness with a little bit of bitterness at the end. It's pretty delicious. This is great in cocktails, actually. That's why there's much less of it than the other ones. These other ones I usually drink just on their own. This one I use a lot for mixing. And finally, we are moving on to Chinar, however you say it. I've heard it lots of ways. All right. Made from artichokes. I love this one, actually, to use in cocktails as well. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. Came blasting out of there. So you can see the little artichoke on the label. Great on the nose, rich, bitterness. Still got a lot of sweetness to it. The bitter comes in subtly towards the end, but really just like a nice balanced, smooth. Doesn't have the spearminty quality. Also great for mixing. I like to use Chinar and Negronis, actually.
Makes it not a Negroni.
No, it still makes it a Negroni. It's just a riff. A riff. Like a guitar riff.
Do you know what a guitar riff is?
Yeah, dude. Rock and roll. Rock and roll! Very tasty. Honestly, a little too sweet for me to drink just on its own. I would tend towards these more bitter, complex ones, but Chinar, great in a cocktail. Amaro's done. Moving on to Vermouth. As you can see, we have less Vermouth than Amaro. Already getting a little silly, so I gotta keep an eye on those pores, you know? All right, we're going to start with our Dolan Dry Vermouth. This is actually the very end of this bottle, so let's see how much we have here. Whoa, well, there's still a little bit left in there. Maybe just a skosh for a cocktail later. Dolan Dry Vermouth, little aperitif. Definitely dry. A little herbal, tiny little bit sweet, you know, like a white wine can be, but also dry. Lillet, if you will.
Does anyone call it Lillet?
No, I don't think so. I don't think anyone actually does. Tiny little bit of that for a taste. Product of France. Serve well chilled. This was in the fridge, so don't worry. Smells like a white wine. That's good. A little appley, sweet apple. Not as dry as the Dolan, but a little on the drier side. Good to go. Now, we have our El Bandara Vermouth. This is actually a product of Spain. It's the first Spanish vermouth I've ever had. I've only used it a couple times, as you can see. Also, keeping it in the fridge. Keep your vermouth in the fridge. It's PSA. All right. Tiny little bit of our sweet vermouth. Definitely smells a little more rich, a little more full-bodied. Very nice. Solid vermouth. Sweet, but not too sweet. Lots of body and richness that will just enhance whatever cocktail you're using it for. Vermouth's done. Now we move on to our liqueurs. Liqueurs, there's a few more of these. Like we said earlier, it's dessert time. These are all going to be pretty sweet. I'm just going to go through these kind of willy-nilly. All right, so bear with me. We're going to start with probably our weirdest and probably cheapest thing on the bar, the blue curacao. I think I've had this for a couple of years. I think I bought it to make a spooky punch for Halloween time, mostly just for the color.
I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, it smells like household cleaner. in a bad way, in a very bad way. Let's just get this over with. I don't know. Oh my God. I don't know why I still have this, but we're tasting it today.
It's so blue.
It's so blue.
It looks like a lava lamp.
Cheers. No. No. It's like gross, sweet orange candy. Like gross, though. Yes, can I help you? You want to sniff?
You smell it. Oh, that's
Right?
It smells very bad.
It smells very bad. It
Yeah.
smells like cleaner. I remember that punch being okay, but after tasting that, I know it's true. I mean, as you can see, I didn't use very much of it for a large format punch. It was mostly just color. I'm going to rinse this. Thank you. All right, on to the next. We're going to stay in the syrupy sweet category and hit up the triple sec. You got to have triple sec for margaritas, right? But it is definitely on the sweet side. Oh, just a touch. Just a touch. See, that's like, that smells artificially orangey, but it doesn't smell bad. It smells fine. Ooh, very sweet on its own, but not gross or unpleasant or blue. We're going to move on to our Luxardo Maraschino liqueur. Very good, used in a lot of classic cocktails.
For a long time, I thought that maraschino meant grenadine.
Yeah, common misconception, I think.
Because maraschino cherries.
Yeah, maraschino cherries. So you think, oh, it's like a cherry flavor thing. No, not cherry flavor. All right, just a touch of the Luxardo Maraschino. It smells delicious. Also very sweet, but there's definitely a more complex flavor there compared to the triple sec and especially the curacao. So it's definitely sweet. You definitely wouldn't be drinking that on its own, but it brings so much richness to certain cocktails. Just a great ingredient to have and use in small amounts. Moving on to our brandy cordial from Napa Valley Distillery. I got this on a visit to Napa one time from their little tasting room. Very fun, very good experience. Recommend giving them a visit. All right. Our brandy cordial is a true California original made from premium bourbon barrel-aged brandy. It smells not super sweet, nice and rich, a little citrusy. Delicious. A lot of like cooked sugar flavors, caramels, and molasses. Molassi. Thank you. Very rich. Again, probably not something you're going to drink on its own, but maybe over some ice cream, a little bit in a cocktail. Oh, yeah. No, probably not. You probably wouldn't drink any of these on their own, no.
Okay, so...
Unless you're into that kind of thing.
So, like, you don't actually say that after everyone.
Wow. All right.
I was just telling you.
No, that's true. You're right. Moving on to our Pitoro Coquito. So this is a liqueur made to mimic the flavors in a coquito. It's similar to eggnog, and you usually drink it around the holidays, but it's Puerto Rican in origin, I believe, or Caribbean in general. Oh yeah, get a lot of those like holiday spices in there, your cinnamons, your cloves, your nutmegs. Oh yeah. It feels weird drinking that in the middle of summer, but it's delicious. Wonderfully cinnamony and warming and sweet. Honestly, a little touch of that on its own, not a bad idea. All right, moving on to our Drambuie. This made an appearance in a previous video for the heads out there. This is a Scotch-based liqueur. Smells pretty good. Drambuie, a dram of Drambuie. A dram of this will buoy your spirits. All right, let's taste it. Probably the least sweet of everything so far. It's definitely got a little more warming burn to it, I think, from the Scotch base, but still very rich and delicious and mouth coating. Moving on to our Zerbenz. This is a stone pine liqueur of the Alps, product of Austria. It smells nice and fresh, like walking through the woods. Love a good pine. I pine for pine. Not Chris Pine. but honestly.
I pine for Chris Pine.
Boom. Wait a second.
Captain America.
Wrong Chris.
No, wrong Chris. I'm sorry, not Chris Pine. I don't actually pine for Chris Pine.
There you go.
He's fine.
She pines for Chris Evans. It's fine.
So who doesn't? Who looks at that man and is like,
Not a single person. Stone Pine Liqueur. Well, no, we're good. Didn't get too much in there. Smells woodsy. Peppery also. Oh yeah, nice.
nice.
Nice. It's really nice. I was gonna say nice and fresh and very pine forward and a little like almost a little aggressive, like an aggressive, almost like the feeling of a really aggressive spearmint, but it's pine and it's delicious. Moving on, this is a special one, folks. This one was made by yours truly. It's a coffee liqueur made with a delicious Colombian coffee and rum and sherry. It smells good, if I do say so myself. Just a touch. Oh yeah. Look at that. It's a beautiful dark color. Smells nice and rich and toasty and coffee. Coffee liqueur smells like coffee. Great, cool, good tasting note. Idiot. It smells like beans. That's where we're at. Here we go. So, not very sweet at all. I did add some sugar to it, but not very much. I really wanted it to be more rich, a little bitter, almost honestly like a coffee Amaro, but there are no like herbs or botanicals or bittering agents or anything like that, except for the coffee. But very delicious, very like a lot of base notes and like dark chocolate flavors, toasted nuts, caramels, really nice. And yes, I'm bragging because I made it. I did a good job. Very tasty. We're gonna give a rinse after the coffee. Next up, Aperol. Very well known, very common. A lot of people use this instead of Campari in Negronis, etc. Ooh, smells great. Based on an infusion of selected herbs and roots. Definitely smells, bright and citrusy, but also you can tell that it's going to have that bitterness to it. There's a little bit of bitterness there. Definitely not as much as Campari, which we're going to taste next. But there is some bitterness, from like a citrus oil. And there's great sweetness, great richness. Delicious. A staple for the bar. Next up, crowd favorite, house favorite, favorite's favorite, Campari.
I love Campari.
Ladies and gentlemen, everyone loves Campari. If you're Italian, you grow up drinking this in your bottle, right? That's what I've heard, right?
My mom gave me Campari, she gave me Sambuca when I had my first period.
All right.
She thought that...
That's not Campari?
No, but I feel like Campari was one of the first liqueur, drinks I ever had, Campari and soda.
Yeah. One of the family dies, you go to the funeral restaurant, you have a Campari and soda, gabagol, mutz.
You're making fun of my culture.
So sorry. Don't at me, Italians.
I'm adding you.
Don't.
Adding you.
Stop adding me.
Columbus was an Italian hero.
Oh God. Replace all of the Christopher Columbus statues with Campari statues. Whoops.
Yes.
Just a statue of Campari. And then you're still celebrating your Italian-American heritage.
Yeah.
Right? Come on. Gabagol, mutz. Ricotta.
They're gonna come for you.
They're gonna come for me. I live in Brooklyn. I couldn't... No. False alarm. Let's taste the Campari, shall we? Because I've never tasted it before. Definitely never had it on its own, or with seltzer, or in a Negroni, or straight from the bottle. Big fan. It's great. You can't beat it. Yeah, it's a little bit syrupy sweet, but it's balanced out by that citrus peel bitterness coming in there. It's great. It's great. It's great. Big Campari fan right here. We're finishing out strong with chartreuse. Shout out to Monks again, killing it in the distilling game. Chartreuse is delicious, used in a bunch of different classic cocktails, also has a rich, long history. There are bottles out there that go for thousands of dollars. Collectible, the recipes are secret. It's a whole thing. If I get into it too much, the monks are gonna come for me. I already have the Italians after me. Can't have the monks also. They're silent. You can't hear them. Sneak up on you. All right, we're gonna taste the chartreuse. All right, a nice little pour of chartreuse. It smells great. Super herbaceous, botanical. I'm excited. I haven't had chartreuse in a long time, actually. I've been saving this tiny little bit for a rainy day, and I don't know why. It's a little expensive. Chartreuse is a little more pricey. It's because the recipes are kept under wraps. Yeah, under the wraps of their robes.
Do you know what a monk is?
Yeah, they wear robes. They live in big stone temples. They got the bald head. They wear hoods. Vows of silence.
You don't know what a monk is.
Maybe I don't know what a monk is.
I don't think you know what a monk is.
It's fine. It's fine. Listen, I'm just here at my bar trying to drink through all my non-spirits. And I'm going to be attacked for not knowing what a monk is? Not today. Not today. Chartreuse. I'm going to call for a chartreuse with the monks and the Italians. It's delicious. What a great treat. If you haven't tried chartreuse, highly recommend. There are so many different iterations and recipes and flavors, but they're all very deliciously herbaceous, a little sweet, lots of botanicals, lots of complexity. Delicious. I think that's it. I think we did it. I think we tasted it. Hold on. I almost forgot a couple. We got schnapps and we got cream liqueur. A Bailey's essentially, but it's Emmett's. Probably, I'm gonna do the cream liqueur first. All right, cream liqueur, just a touch. We've all had Bailey's, right? Maybe not. Maybe it's not as common a thing as I think, but it's delicious. It tastes like a treat. It's a treat. It's a nice little treat at the end of this liquid meal that I've had. Now, let's freshen our breath with a little schnapps. Wonderment. I'm in wonderment at this bottle. You know what I'm saying?
I actually like that bottle. It's pretty.
It's a great bottle. H.R. Schoolcraft. He was H.P. Lovecraft's cousin.
It's not how last names work.
What?
What?
No, it's fine. You can't see from over there. It's 35% alcohol, so it's 70 proof.
Oh, so that's not so bad.
Math, baby. Did that in my head all by myself. Boom. Ooh, smells minty. Oh yeah. Ooh, my breath is fresh. Cthulhu ain't coming nowhere near this because I'm so fresh and tingly. That's it. That's everything that's not a spirit. I know what you're wondering. What was my least favorite? I think it's pretty obvious. The blue curacao. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't know why this is a thing. Maybe there are curaçaos out there that are fine. I don't know if I've ever had regular curacao, but this blue curacao, it's terrible. It tastes like something I'm going to clean my toilet bowl with. I don't want to drink that. My favorite? You're asking what my favorite was? Probably also obvious. Shout out to my Italians. Campari. A little Campari, a little Mutz, a little Gabagool. What did I say?
Gabagool.
Oh, Gabagool. Mutz. Man of gut. Thank you for joining me on this ride, folks. Please drop a comment if you have any questions about anything I've tasted or any recommendations for future videos. Hit that like button, the little thumbs up down there below this video. Just give it a nice little ginger little click. You don't have to smash it. I don't want anybody breaking their mouse. Just a little click on that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We'll see you next time. Cheers. That wasn't so bad, and I wouldn't even say that it wasn't so bad.